the suburbs of California in like the early to mid 90s was a fucking like hub of ska bands, right?
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
you had everyone like playing trumpets in their parents' garages that were starting bands. I'm sure it was like that, and where you grew up too, to some degree.
We had mostly just skate punk down here.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I think it
but very that's very. What's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome back to the Punk Rock Review Podcast. Sitting on the other side of the screen is my boy Nitty.
Hey.
We're gonna talk some horns, some checkered vans. We're talking ska today, man. We're gonna talk about the top five ska bands. Now, I don't know that this is like a conclusive list of like the absolute.
No, absolutely not.
I will say that this is probably like my. Okay, outside of like the ones that you guys all know about, like this is probably my five go-to bands that I would like to bring up in a conversation like this. And only I think like whatever. Most people know most of these bands, but there's gonna be people that don't. Anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter. These are just bands I really like, and I didn't include Operation Ivy. Neither of us did because that's the obvious answer.
I think there's some answers here. Yeah, definitely.
And so like
changed my list up a little bit too.
Okay.
After further thinking. About
well, this is essentially the top five ska bands other than Operation Ivy. So, because I would say that they're the kings of it because of how impactful they were and how many bands and sounds that they spawned. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to be as big a fan as I am. It doesn't mean that you have to say that they're your favorite ska band of any kind, but to say that they're not like, I would say arguably the GOAT in that department, especially if you're talking like third wave ska punk stuff.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm, in terms of like the ska punk and the integration of ska into punk, I think that they're one of the more they were a band that's like.
Well, they're the band. They're the band, as far as that's concerned.
They're the band that did it. Yeah,
because you don't even do what
other than the Clash. I mean, we gotta give them their flowers with that shit. They were one of the first people to integrate ska into punk.
Yeah, but that's not what they're thought of as. They're not thought of as a ska band. They're thought of as a sometimes reggae band, but they're thought of as a punk band. It's just like saying that Rancid isn't included on this list, and their biggest hit is a ska song. So
no. I'm just talking in terms of who did what when. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't agree with that, but I don't care either. So like, sure, Clash. I just don't think they're like because nothing that they did influenced anybody to then go out and start a fucking ska band. Like hell, even Jesse Michaels was asked about that. That video is going to come on the channel before this one does, where they asked him, where did the ska influence come from to start Operation Ivy? Not once does he mention the Clash in any of that.
Okay.
So which honestly surprised me a little bit.
It's a little surprising.
Yeah, but once he talked about it, I was like, oh wait, that does make way more sense. Like knowing what I know about Tim, and then dude, there's so many little gems in this video I'm gonna put up that I can't wait for you to watch this stuff. I'm
pretty sure Tim really liked the old Jamaican reggae stuff and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And that's really kind of what propelled them to.
Yeah, but when I found out what Tim's favorite band was, it blew my fucking mind because I thought it was the Clash. I'm not going to even tell you who it was. I'll tell you off air, but I'm not going to tell anybody who it was. Just wait to watch the video. But okay, so like basically this is just a celebration of ska. Really, is all it really is. So I don't want to argue with anybody. You can tell me that Operation Ivy is not the GOATs, and I'm not even going to argue about it. Like that's cool, man. I don't care. What this is like the obvious answer for Nitty and I would have been Op Ivy, right? So we're going to talk about 5 bands per person outside of that band, and I'm gonna let you start.
Okay.
And then we're gonna bounce back and forth like we typically do. I like that format a lot. It works well.
No, definitely. And I think going with the top 5 ska bands wasn't something that was easy for me to do because I like so many. And,
bro,
when I was younger in the in the 90s, like so I grew up in San Jose, California, which the suburbs of California in like the early to mid 90s was a fucking like hub of ska bands, right?
Yeah.
Like, you had everyone like playing trumpets in their parents' garages that were starting bands. I'm sure it was like that and where you grew up too, to some degree.
We had mostly just skate punk down here.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I think it
but very that's very parallel. Oh,
yeah. Go ahead.
And before we get into the actual list, if you have any honorable mentions, you give me yours and I'll give you mine, and then we'll go into our actual picks. I have 2 bands that I wanted to just mention real quickly, but I don't want to spend a lot of time on. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I understand, but I just wanted to kind of like, I want to start my list, but I want to start it with an asterisk, a little forward, if you will. Ska was one of the most wholesome things, about, that I remember fondly about my early adolescence. There were ska shows that were all ages, that were like at senior centers and stuff like that back in like 96, and like you would go. We weren't doing drugs or fucking drinking. Like our parents would drive.
Oh, you're missing out. No, I'm playing.
And we'd skank the night away. And these bands
I drank the night away.
I know. And I didn't get into that kind of shit until like I was about 16. But 14, 15, we'd go to these ska shows, and some of our friends and their older brothers and stuff were in bands, and you know what I mean, like ska bands. And these were the kids that were like 17, 18, you know what I mean, at the time.
Right.
And we're young, so we're looking up to these guys, and we're just going to these shows. I'm like, whoa, it's fucking cool, man. Like, it was just a really like wholesome experience that I remember fondly from my early adolescence. So ska was huge for me because of where I grew up and when it happened, right, with like the early 20s.
Right. Based on our ages, it was important because of when it blew up, kind of.
Definitely, that's like when it blew up.
The third wave, specifically.
It was everywhere. It was in commercials. It was on the radio. It was like you couldn't get away.
It infiltrated pop music, in a way that a lot of stuff doesn't. Although I will say that pop punk honestly did probably even bigger, because Blink-182 still exists to this day, and they're bigger than ever. And but I still think what you were saying about like wholesome, I think that needs to be like really, really like hammered in this conversation, because my mom would not let me listen to anything that was punk rock, really, right? Yeah. Except that I could have Skank and Pickle CDs, I could have Mustard Plug, I could have I had this and that, whatever. I had a Skankaholics Unanimous compilation, which is still to this day one that I love to death. And I could have the specials, I could have just a number of different ska projects I was allowed to have in my house back whenever she was incredibly strict with my music. So like that was still like my little sort of like that was my what would you call that? Like what do they call it when you take a pill? It's not really a pill, but it's like
placebo.
Yeah, it was like my placebo punk rock right there. Like I could take it, and you just tell me it's punk, and I'm like, okay, I get it. Yeah. And then slowly I'm like, let me have some AAA, let me get some Suicide Machines, let me get a little bit of
that kind of crept in here and there, you know what I mean? But
so
I got stories about the bands and kind of my journey with ska as well. Also with ska, there was a big Christian ska movement happening.
It was this big Christian pop punk thing too.
Yeah. Like, a lot of ska bands were Christian bands, and they would come through and they'd play, and they were good. You know what I mean?
So weird, man.
I mean, it was just a thing, I
mean, I have faith, and I still think it's weird. I've never understood. Let me start a band, and then that's what I want to talk about. Like,
well, they some of the stuff was about that, but then they would just kind of talk about girls.
I do appreciate the no cursing and stuff. I got kids, man, so it's nice to have like bands like the Aquabats that come out and do like weird, funny stuff.
Supertones, remember that band?
Vaguely. Oh, all right. Let's get this party started, man. Let me have your honorable mentions, and then I'll give you mine.
Fuck, honorable mentions. Okay.
I know you have at least a couple. Give me just 2.
Of course. I mean, okay. I'm gonna go with. This was a band that kind of hit home on the ska punk front.
Okay.
The Suicide Machines. All right.
Oh wow. Okay, that would be easily a top like 2 or 3.
Yeah, I wanted to make them one of my top, but there's a few. You know what I mean? But I knew.
Man, if I'd have known you weren't putting them on your absolute list, I would have changed mine up, because I didn't put them because I thought you were gonna.
Yeah, I mean, I was really close to putting it on my top 5, but that first album was fucking like, wow. I think I played that CD to death, man.
It's an incredible album, front to back.
Front to back, banger record.
We used to argue all the time at school. Is like, is this a punk band or a ska band? And I always stood on the punk band thing.
We're a punk band. They got some ska parts in there.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just went and saw them play live. They're a ska band. For sure. All kinds of ska.
Yeah, sure. But they got some songs that are just straight punk songs too. Like they don't do any of the skank. It's just
a lot of ska bands do though.
Battle of the Hymns was a pretty punk record.
That was great too. But it's just like saying that like Rancid's not a punk band because they got a couple ska songs. Yeah, sure, they got a couple ska songs, but they're a punk band still.
Yeah, definitely.
They're a ska band, but they still got a couple punk songs. It's okay.
Yeah, yeah. So
they're on the. It's a spectrum.
No, definitely. I think Suicide Machines was one of the harder ska bands that kind of hit me at the time. You know what I mean? There wasn't a lot of straight up ska punk band that really came out.
Well, there was 3 that were at that point in time very big and important to me.
Yeah, I think I know who the other.
I would imagine.
Not too, but yeah, Suicide Machines is an honorable mention. I'm gonna go with them, and then I gotta drop
Detroit. By the way, shout out to Detroit,
Michigan, man. Yeah. The drummer went on to go to Alkaline Trio later. I think he's no longer.
Yes. Yeah. He's incredible. Derek something or other.
Yeah. Derek Grant, I believe.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Skank and Pickle is going to be my other honorable mention. They were a very important band in terms of the development and kind of direction that third wave ska went in. You know what I mean? They were one of the bands that were kind of at the forefront of that, and also they're from my hometown. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's dope.
Mike Park was in Skank and Pickle, of course, as you know.
I'm this close to having Mike Park on the show. I think he's going to do it. I'm very excited to talk to him.
So, and it's just kind of his close to home, knowing that band was from Northern California.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They had some really great songs. They had a lot of weird stuff going on, but they had some really, really good songs.
But they're all over the place. But that's the thing with that type of music. Ska was fun, man. And it wasn't too cool for school or pretentious. They would talk about all sorts of crazy shit. These ska bands were fucking they weren't afraid to just have fun and be themselves.
Ska was my version of emo. Ska is the stuff I liked when other kids went to the emo direction. I went to ska because I thought they still talk about girls and stuff, but they just also talk about partying, and they also like to have upbeat stuff, and it's not so slow and sad sounding. It's like the girl broke up with me. It's okay. It's okay. It makes it five my boys. It's just fucking silliness, dude. It's I can write a whole ska song right now. It's no problem.
Yeah. It was cool, man. The horns are fucking great. You know what I mean? They just kind of threw it a.
That's subjective, sir.
Whole element. Everybody was horny in the
90s. Okay. Let me give you my
honorable mentions.
My honorable mentions are for a very specific reason, and it's because you had mentioned wanting to go more third wave, and I wasn't going that direction at first.
Yeah.
So my honorable mentions is from 1977 on, the Specials out of England, right?
Yeah.
They're a ska band that without having put the let's try to stick third wave, that would probably be my number 2 all time.
I mean, the Specials are fucking legendary. Yeah.
Right. It would either be 2 or 3 for me. They're top 3, without a question, right? But you don't get a lot of the stuff that we like about the third wave ska sound without a sound like the Specials, because all the slower stuff, all the mid tempo, just all the what do they call that drum pattern? They call it something. But anyways, all the mid tempo stuff, you wouldn't have any of that stuff. The 2-tone thing, Rudy wouldn't exist. None of that shit would be here without the Specials. And they have albums that you can go get that just you can't go. What song's your favorite? Well, there's 1 or 2 that kind of stick out, but that's within their whole career. But their albums are just solid front to back. There's not a lot of fat to trim. You just have to listen to the whole record because it's good. And for that reason, I would like to put them on my list, but I do like what we're doing. I like where we're headed with what we're trying to conduct here. But my other honorable mention is from Los Angeles, not from the 70s, but they're from the 2000s or whatever, and they helped usher in Tim Armstrong's A Poet's Life. That would be the Agrolites.
Oh yeah,
they almost made the list, but I thought that people would bitch and moan about them sounding too reggae, and I was like, all right, whatever, man. I just won't put it.
But they're a reggae band. But yeah, I would.
Reggae and ska are almost the same thing. So in my opinion, it's all the same conversation.
Yeah, no, I mean,
for the most part. If somebody put Bob Marley on their ska list, I wouldn't be mad about it. I'd rather have Bob Marley on there than Goldfinger or Sublime or No Doubt, because I don't think either of those bands are ska bands. But people would put those bands on their list, is my point. So. But yeah, the Agrolites from Los Angeles.
Yeah, they're good.
Boy, I tell you, when I heard the band, I thought this is amazing. When I saw a photo of the band, I was like, "That's the guy singing this." Yeah, and I was like, "That's not the guy singing this." I was like, "The guy singing this is a little darker complected." Don't
he has too much soul, right,
bro?
Yeah.
So the Agrolites are literally probably my favorite ska band of all time. That's not punk rock infused.
Yeah.
If you go straight up ska / reggae, whatever, they're my favorite. Like, period. It's them. And now the specials are more important or whatever, but like the Agrolites, like bar for bar, record for record, are my favorite. They're so fucking good, dude. Like, you can dance to it, you can drive to it. Hell, you could probably fight to it if you really wanted to, but you can definitely like cook some food in your house, dance with your wife. Dude, they're just so
absolutely
so good. But yeah, those are my honorable mentions.
But that first record really hit hard.
Which one?
The one with the I actually had it on CD. The I think it was like a Jaguar on the cover, like
the red one. Yeah. Is that? It might be Dirty Reggae. I can't remember.
No, it was the one after that.
Okay. It's all one big album as far as I'm concerned.
If you like the Agrolites, the keyboard player has his own shit going on. Roger Rivas.
What's it called?
That's just his name.
Roger it's just his name, Roger Rivas.
Yeah. I mean,
heard.
So you dig it. It's just all like instrumental fucking reggae stuff.
I wonder if he'll do the podcast.
It's more like than like kind of like 69 style reggae that the Agrolites play. But I think you'll dig it anyway. I mean, it's still an Agrolite.
I like just about anything that's got ska reggae chords in it, man. This stuff's fun, like you said. And there was a little while where I didn't really care for it much. You know who got me back into ska?
Who?
The fucking Interrupters, man. Like, I don't want to admit how good that band is. It's really, they're so good, man. Like, people can hate on them. I almost got to where I was going to hate on them. And I just thought about it. It was like, why do I give a shit about any of the stuff that would make me not like a band? Like, it's so dumb.
They've got a lot of mass appeal. Like they can be on the radio. I think they have been. They can be in commercials. They can play big festivals. I
like them because they give me a little dose of Rancid when I don't have Rancid, and I appreciate that because that's my favorite band. So to me, it makes sense, you know. But okay, give me your number 5, and let's talk a little bit about it in detail.
Well, I mean, dude, we can't. In my opinion, we can't talk about ska without getting to the origins of this shit, dude. So it came from fucking Jamaica. All right.
Oh, good grief! I thought, man, you went a whole different direction.
I did, and I'm a big reggae nerd. I love Jamaican music. Like I dove deep into that shit. Like I got all the Trojan comps, all the skinhead reggae stuff.
I like a lot of that stuff too.
Stuff from the fucking 60s and like.
Have I showed you my 45 adapters?
Oh, you got the Trojan ones? Yeah.
Yeah.
Grand ad for that.
These are expensive, dude, but they're fucking cool looking.
Yeah. My tattoo, actually, my next tattoo is going to be the logo.
Oh, nice.
The Trojan logo, yeah.
I would get that somewhere for sure.
I mean, I fucking love that shit. You know what I mean? So I took I really got into like Jamaican music, right? Like,
well, dude, send me a list of stuff. I may see. There's probably a lot of it I haven't heard.
Oh, I mean, I got exhaustive fucking list. So the Scatolites. You can't talk about ska without mentioning.
Okay.
The Scatolites were the fucking foundation for this shit. Like, these are like dudes that came out of Jamaica in like the early 60s, and I think the trombone player Don Drummond actually, his fucking music is incredible. Like I think he was institutionalized actually for killing his girlfriend in like 1966. Yeah. There's a whole thing about it, you know what I mean? But like,
that's terrible.
Like, it is terrible. It's crazy. But he was a fucking genius musician. In all the Scatolites, those guys, the majority of them, they went to this school in Jamaica, the Alpha Boys School of Music, right? So it was essentially like, or the Alpha Boys School, right? And it was in Kingston, I believe. And it was a place for, like, from what I understand, like wayward young men to go, and they all played instruments, you know what I mean, at a very young age. And then these guys, even after the Scatolites, went on to like be in fucking all the backing bands in fucking Jamaica through the 70s and into the 80s. So they are the foundation for the fucking rhythms.
I have a lot of their records. Not a lot. I have a few, but I have a lot of their music. I like that band.
Yeah. And all the members of that band, like the keyboard player went on to be the session keyboard player for Studio One, right?
Wow.
Yeah, and then he was the guy that like arranged and composed all the music for these like fucking Jamaican singers, and then the horn section went off to like different studios and all this shit, right? So the Scatolites, man. I mean, like,
what an interesting pick. Dude, you threw me off because we definitely talked, and you definitely told me third wave.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to go that direction, but then I was like, you know what, dude, we're talking about fucking ska music. I mean, like, I need to like show the homage homage.
I'm gonna stick with my list because I just don't care. We can do a second volume to this like we did the
whatever,
Punk.
man. You know
But
what?
like, I just am like, damn it! I would have definitely just started off with the specials probably, or maybe the highlights.
Cool, hey man. They're extremely important and fucking good. So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. They got mentioned. It's all good.
Yeah, they did for sure. Shout out the specials.
Where the Skylights are from? Jamaica.
Jamaica. Yeah.
Cool. I don't know if I knew that. I might have thought they were from Europe.
Most of them are dead. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. They were around. You said the 70s, right? Early 70s, even
early 60s, man. They
early 60s. I didn't know that.
In like 59 or 60, and then they just played ska.
That's crazy. I did not realize that.
And then as ska became rocksteady, they began to play rocksteady. As rocksteady became reggae, they played reggae. You know what I mean? And just kept going. You know.
Interesting. Well, mine is my first pick couldn't be further from that.
It's all right.
No, quite literally, you couldn't get further from that as far as sonic sounds. 1992 in New York, we get Choking Victim.
Oh shit, yeah. Very different.
So I think that they're relevant for almost the same reasons that the Skylights are relevant. They came around and they created a whole new sound. They gave us this stuff called crack rock steady, where you take literal hardcore punk, black metal, and actual like street punk hardcore songs, and you mix that with just like super high energy ska. And it's very little on like the horn side of things. It's mostly just like ska chords and then crazy choruses, lots of black metal vocals. SZA, there's a lot of drama with that dude. I don't know. I'm not going to go into it. I don't know. I know if he did what they said he did, then he sucks. If he didn't, then he doesn't suck. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm not going to go into all that. But Choking Victim, I chose them instead of Leftover Crack because I think they're the superior group. I went back and listened to a bunch of both of them, and I was like, Leftover Crack's got plenty of cool stuff, but like Choking Victim, like song for song, is, in my opinion, just better. Plus, it was the genesis of that sound.
Definitely.
And I think that they're incredible.
Facts. I would also argue that Choking Victim was influenced by Grimple pretty heavily. Like, if you listen to like Choking Victim stuff and Leftover Crack stuff, it's reminiscent of Grimple, man. Like they really took that like crusty East Bay sound and adapted it into something else. I think that's just my.
I'll have to listen to it with that in my head because when you said that, I was like, "What?" But I'm just not going to argue about it because I don't know. I never thought about it like that. So I'm trying to like not be so fucking combative all the time because I naturally just want to argue with people because I like it. But
I don't mind. Fucking.
Well, I'm too tired today to argue. Really, is what it is.
Man.
I fuck with Grimple heavy though, so I mean, obviously, I love that band. Jesse Michaels brought up Grimple in the thing too. Oh.
Leftover Crack fans are the ICP fans of punk. They're like the Juggalos. You know what I'm talking about.
I fuck with Fago heavy.
Oh Jesus! All right,
my goodness, hold on. Right. Come here, you. Come here.
Oh, we got a kid. We got a kid in the room.
Yeah. What are you doing in here?
Oh. Hey, baby.
Say what's up, Nitty.
Hi. What's your name?
Parker.
Okay, Parker.
Here, you want to hear him? Here, now you can hear him. Okay. Say what's up, Nitty.
Hi.
What's up, Parker? You want to be on the pod with us? Talk about your favorite ska
show. What's your favorite ska band? You like Rancid?
Yes.
Yeah, you like Operation Ivy? Yes. You think you do? You like the Interrupters? I know you like them. You liked Rancid when we went to this concert, didn't you? You had fun. All right, well, we're going to talk while you sit here for a minute, okay? Don't interrupt me or I'm going to body slam you, okay? Right into the ground.
Dang, he got serious.
Yeah, he was like, oh, that sucks.
He's like, damn, anything but that.
All right. What's your next band, sir? You can go back
and my next band.
Parker, I have to do this, baby, so go sit down, please. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Dad duty, broski doski.
I understand. It's important.
All right.
This is a band that one of the most important ska punk bands to me, I think. And I found out about them pre Lawrence Arms and like all that shit, right? So I'm gonna preface this with a story, right? I was in the
Don't you do it. No play.
I was after that story you told, shit.
I know, right?
Fucking oh my god. Okay. I did not beat the shit out of any homeless people in this story.
Unhoused, sir.
Unhoused. I know that's the word.
Just so dumb.
I mean, so I was in the suburbs of Chicago.
Of course you were.
With like my like parents, like one of my dad's friends from college or something like lived out there, right? And I was like 15 years old. I was in a mall, right? I couldn't do shit. I'm just fucking hanging out at a mall, right? I'm a young kid. I got nothing to do. And I'm in a record store. And at the time, I like the Suicide Machines and shit, right? So like,
yeah,
I was asking the girl who worked at the record store, who was this cool punk girl, right? Like definitely.
Yeah, you were.
And I was like, hey, can you recommend me any like ska that's like not so poppy, like just like really like I like punk more right now, you know what I mean? But also ska, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it was like 1990.
It's like fuck you, nerd.
You know, I don't know shit, right? I think one of the bands she recommended to me was Bouncing Souls, but it was The Good, the Bad, and the Argyle, or like Maniacal Laughter, like that album.
That album is awesome.
Yeah, and I was like, you know, I would later go on to love that band, but like I didn't pick that CD, right? You know what I mean? I only had enough for like one CD or something, right?
Oh yeah, no, that I'm familiar with.
And then I'm like, oh, I can't get this. And then she's like, oh, hold on, this is a local band, right? She pulls out a Slapstick CD, okay?
I knew that's what you were gonna say.
And she fucking hands me this CD, and I'm like, okay, cool. She's like, yo, it's on Asian Man Records, okay, Mike Park's label. And there's like 25 songs in it. So like, you know, like back in the day, you're like, oh shit, there's fucking hella songs on this CD. Like, I'm gonna get my money's worth for this shit, right? I get
Bro,
this.
That was exciting back in the day.
And I fucking like that CD to this day. I fucking love that shit, man. That Slapstick CD fucking goes hard, man. And I think it was one of the best like ska punk albums that I've heard. Right.
I haven't listened to Slapstick in a very, very long time. I need to fix that.
If you like the Lawrence Arms and that dude's voice and shit, Brendan Kelly, like
no, I love Brendan Kelly solo stuff too. Okay, so that's something you probably don't even know about me is that the Lawrence Arms rank very high on my like favorite punk bands list.
Oh yeah, they're great. I love them too.
Not top 10, but definitely like top 25, maybe top 20.
Which is funny because they definitely got some emo moments. And
no, but that's what I like about them is I like the bands that are like talk about emo shit but don't sound like a bunch of whiny bitches.
Yeah, no, they're really good. I
need to hide my fragility, sir. I don't want people to know about it.
You don't want to.
I don't want you to know I'm a big fucking whiny bitch.
You don't want that shit on your sleeve. You don't want to be like,
bro. Man, hold up. I got too much lean in my cup. Man. Sorry.
But yeah, that fucking for that Slapstick record, man.
Did they just do one?
Yeah, I mean, so they had that was actually what do you call it? A discography. So the band had broken up by then. They were around from 1993.
Oh, I have this too. Yeah. Okay. So I have the right thing then. Okay, cool. Nice. Yeah, that is a rad album. You're right.
So they had one full length and then they had a bunch of like
EPs and 7 inches and shit. Yeah.
Like and they just compiled everything to one thing. And
that's a good call.
And because the band lasted 3 years, right?
Yeah.
And the basis of Slapstick went on to be an Alkaline Trio. That's
Dan,
right?
Yeah.
So, you know, just like the whole family tree of those like Chicago bands kind of comes from this like.
Dude, you know what I absolutely hate is when you have one of these like modern Alkaline Trio fans that are like, dude, they're my favorite band, blah 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 blah. And you're like, hey, do you like the Falcon? And they're like, I never heard of the Falcon. I'm like, what about the Lawrence Arms? I'm like, I don't know who that is either. What about Slapstick? They're like, I don't know them either. And I'm like, what about the Broadways? Like, I don't know them. I'm like, damn, you don't know anything other than Alkaline Trio? They're like, yeah. I'm like, oh, you need to do some reading. And I'm not claiming to be like an ultra fan of all of those bands. I like all of those bands. I like all of them quite a bit actually. But that's not really the point. The point is that like Chicago punk rock has like this little section from like, I don't know, late 90s up to like 2015 or so, where they had just this core sound and group of people that created a lot of really, really, really beautiful music. And if all you like is Alkaline Trio, while I do appreciate that and I want them to have a huge fan base, fuck, dude, open a book, read a couple pages, man. You might like it.
100%. I think the Alkaline Trio just got a lot of success commercially also. And
they're so fucking good though. I mean, I'm not gonna act like they're not.
They're bad, but like, you know, Matt Skiba's voice in their production is more accessible.
Yeah.
A lot of people,
yeah, for sure.
You know, than something like Slapstick. Like nobody wants to. You know, not a lot of people want to like. You know,
I do. I love that. That's what I love about it.
like that kind of shit. But I recommend. I mean, if you like ska punk,
he sounds like he's been up drinking all night, but it's like noon. What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. So Slapstick is one of those bands. I mean, they just like they fucking kill it. So
they slap.
They slap the stick.
I slapped my stick earlier, dude. My wife was pissed. She's like, I was trying to get some. I was like, sorry,
dude. I got that fucking refractory period. And we're 40-something, bro. This shit lasts longer nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
I got a TRT shot about 3 hours ago. I'm feeling great.
Oh, okay.
I'm not joking. I take this shit religiously.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, no. I mean, we can talk offline about it.
Oh, bro, let me know if you do, dude. No, bro. So here's the thing: is like I didn't think it was gonna work. I was like, there's no way it really works that well.
It's prescribed, like your doctor prescribes it to you? Some shit.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't go like some back alley and get fucking TRT shots.
Anyhow, I didn't think it was going to do anything. And they told me, they're like, what do you want out of this more than anything? And I was like, all I want is to sleep better and have a little bit better energy. All the other stuff will be great, and I'll take advantage of it. But I need to sleep better and I need to have more energy. And they're like, yeah, give it 3 or 4 weeks. And I was like, 3 or 4 weeks. And he's like, just trust the process. And it was expensive. Back then I was paying like $140 a week to do this, man. And so I go and I get 3 or 4 shots, and then like about 3.5 weeks go by, and I'm laying in bed one morning and I just felt good. I was like, damn, I feel pretty good, man. I was like, oh shit, maybe it's that testosterone's helping me a little bit. And so I go talk to my doctor, and I'm like, hey, look, I just woke up feeling pretty euphoric. Is that like normal? He's like, yeah, you're just starting to feel, you're getting a little bit more energy. He's like, you're probably sleeping better. And I was like, oh man, that's awesome, dude. He goes, have you had the, sleep yet? And I was like, what does that mean? He goes, oh shit. He's like, oh shit, call me in a week. And I was like, all right. And the very next day, I had a 13-year-old type boner. It hurt so bad, bro. I was like, oh god damn. But bro, like like that shit was just like,
yeah, the TRT. I've heard a lot about it. We're getting way off the ska conversation, but
no, we're not, because ska dudes are virgins, and technically we're talking about sex. So
TRT. Oh shit.
But no, like
funny,
yeah, man. Anyways,
I had fun talking about it the other day. That's why I'm curious about it.
That's fun. No, I'll dude, ask questions if you got them later on or whatever. I'll definitely talk to you.
Yeah, we can talk.
Okay, so my next band. Wait, we're on my turn, right? Yeah, you did Slapstick. So my next band is from Philadelphia. They're a very modern band. It would be Catbite.
Oh, okay.
It's female fronted. It's almost got that mod rock sound to it. They're not just a ska band. Like, they don't have like horns and shit, but they've got a keyboard. And dude, when I tell you, they're one of the best live bands that I've seen in a long, long time. Like, they fucking bring it when they play live, dude. Like, they are absolutely incredible when they play live. They're so good, dude. I came across them one day. I don't remember what song it was, but I just heard one of their first songs off their first LP, and I was like, what is this? I don't even remember how I heard it. I think I was probably just YouTube digging, And I heard it. I was like, what is this, dude? This is crazy. And so I go find out that they're on like this small label, and they got these small print run records. And I was like, I gotta have this, dude. And so I've searched out all their first presses, and they did it on Pink Wax, which I collect Pink records. So like, it was just like this perfect storm, and it was really good music, and it reminded me of something, and I couldn't figure it out. And I'll talk about what it reminded me of a little bit later. But dude, Philadelphia ska band, they just did a set with Laura Jane Grace of Against Me, where they did the entire discography of Operation Ivy. Did you not watch that?
I haven't seen it. No.
It's incredible. We watched it on the channel. If you want to go back and watch it, watch it that way, because we watched the whole thing.
I'll check it out. Yeah,
it's incredible, and they're so good live. But they're just a really good band. They got a lot of momentum. They've done a song with Brian Fallon from Gaslight Anthem. Like, they tour relentlessly, and they're on Bad Time Records. Shout out to Mike from Bad Time Records. He's also in a band called Kill Lincoln.
Adam from Omnigon.
Yeah. He's on Bad Time too.
Isn't that his label?
No, Mike owns Bad Time.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah.
No, Adam's just on the label. But Bad Time's a fucking great label. If you like ska, as a matter of fact, shout out Bad Time Records. If you like ska stuff, that is the modern ska label, dude. They're putting out stuff from Mustard Plug and all the modern stuff. It's awesome. I mean, obviously Asian Man's probably still doing something out there, but like Bad Times really picked up where all these other labels left off.
Bad Time is really at the forefront of keeping ska alive right now.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
That kind of shit. That's awesome.
But I just want to talk about Catbite for a second. You know, I just wanted to mention them, and I think that they're incredibly catchy. They got very good guitar leads. They got really great production quality. Their songwriting, like the structures of their song. Dude, they covered a fucking Selena song, dude. Like they're awesome, bro. Really like they're so good. The fact that they're female fronted, I think, gives them a different dynamic because their singer and their lead guitar player are married, and it just had dude. It's just like you could tell they're having fun. They tour relentlessly. They're getting pretty big, man. I'm very happy for them. I've been trying to get them back on the show for over a year, and they're willing to do it. We just can't match schedules. I'm hoping that now that I'm available pretty much all the time, I can maybe convince them to come back on. I'd love to just catch up. I'd love to ask them. I have like 4 or 5 like very specific questions that I have that only they can answer. So, but yeah, man, if anybody that can do a whole entire like 1 hour set of Operation Ivy covers and nail it, bro, you get my respect.
That's every single song front to back.
They did like 27 songs, man. It was crazy. They did the whole album in order. It was nuts, bro.
Starting with Knowledge, huh?
Yeah, with Laura Jane Grace singing too. And I'm telling you, I didn't think that somebody could match Jesse's vocals until I saw that, and I was like, oh, it sounds kind of the same. That's amazing.
God, I love Operation Ivy. Yeah, but yeah, I got fun.
Me too. All right, let's keep it pushing now that we ran our mouths for 40 minutes.
Yeah, we've been talking like a lot.
I was having a rough day. I'm glad we're talking.
Yeah, man. I'm glad we are too. I'm glad your day's looking up. Where the fuck is my list?
Ooh,
okay.
Good, sir.
I got the next one here. Okay. So we're gonna go back in time a little bit to New York City, probably 91. I had I had the pleasure of seeing this band like twice.
Okay.
And both times, easily one of the best live shows I've fucking seen. And that is the Slackers from New York City.
Oh, I love the Slackers, dude.
And those fucking guys, man. Woo! Dude, they do it in a way that no one else can. Vic Ruggiero is such an incredible songwriter. And
they lost a member recently, didn't they?
I'm not sure. I haven't kept up with them in the past couple years.
Continue your thought. I'm sorry to cut you off.
That's okay. So Vic Ruggiero, I saw them actually in San Jose for the first time in maybe 1998 or something, in the late 90s, and they were fucking fantastic.
But they were.
I think I tried to smoke a joint with Vic, and he said after the show or something like that. We never got to. But and this was around the time that they released The Question, which was their second album.
Okay.
I think on the cover there's a woman who finds her lover in bed with somebody else or something like that, and she's got holding a gun to him. You know that album?
Oh yeah.
So that album is fucking fantastic. And their first one, Red Light, which is Vic on the cover smoking a cigarette in front of a theater or something. Fantastic record. So the Slackers are very traditional kind of ska reggae rocksteady band.
Okay.
But they have a very New York kind of attitude and vibe to them too, right? So it's like the musicianship is bar none, incredible. These guys are jazz musicians, right? They're fucking great musicians, but they just have amazing songs, and every album is such an amazing record in its own right, in its own way. I
kind of want to listen to Slapstick first, and then the Slackers. Maybe tomorrow I'm gonna listen to both of those bands.
They're very different bands. I mean,
no, very. But I have this itch now that you mentioned those two bands, and those two bands weren't even on my radar today.
Dude, I mean, I had to dig deep, but when I was walking the dog today, I thought about the Slackers. I'm like, fuck yeah, that band's important to me. So, awesome. Especially their first 3 records. I think the last one the first 4 records, Red Light, The Question.
That's a great album.
Wasted Days is a good one too. And then Close My Eyes, which is fucking on Hellcat.
Hellcat's such a fucking amazing label.
Yeah. In fact, I wish the Silencers, they were on the first Give Them the Boot comp. They had one song.
Bro, that band.
You didn't hit that song. If you would have put out a fucking record, man, like I would have been all over that shit.
How good would that have been?
That was Vic from the Slackers and
Tim, wasn't it?
And then Tim, yeah, from Rancid, pretty much. But you know, I mean, I'm so glad that you know that band exists and they're fantastic. I mean, they're just a special band in their own right. You know, like reggae, like ska, don't like reggae, don't like ska. You can't shit on that band because they're just fucking good. Like,
yeah, well, they got a lot of like garage rock stuff in there, and they got a lot of sampling. They got a lot of like soul music in their music. The Slackers have a lot of soul. So does Agrolites. They have a lot of soul in their music.
A lot of soul, man. Like Slackers and Agrolites, they're kind of two sides of the same coin, right?
That's a split I'd love to put out. Woo! Woo!
Yeah, those bands are both fantastic in their own right. So yeah, so the Slackers, man. Just you know, they're you probably all have heard of them if you like ska,
right?
You're probably
I'd be pretty surprised if nobody on this channel has heard of the Slackers. Okay, well, I'm gonna take the baton and I'm gonna run very, very far. I'm gonna go all the way down south to Florida.
Oh shit! I know where you're
going. Hopeless Records alum, political DIY ska punk Against All Authority.
Oh shit! AAA.
Yeah, you thought I was going to go to LTJ, didn't you?
I thought you were going to go to LTJ. Shout out LTJ.
Shout out LTJ. Against All Authority is a little more my speed, a little grimier. But when I saw the artwork on the cover of All Fall Down,
oh yeah, with the cops, the pigs,
it blew my like 17-year-old mind, bro. I was like, what is this? And then I heard it was ska, and I was like, they don't make ska like this. And then I heard it, and I thought, oh shit, Operation Ivy's back. Cool. Because I'll tell you, if anybody is like a direct descendant of Operation Ivy, it would be Against All Authority.
Yeah, dude. But they had this like snotty kind of like skate rock thing going on too. Just like that song All Fall Down, like the title track from the fucking album is but it just like hits you at first with that really like kind of fast, like hardcore kind of
and then it's like so good, bro. But they're like super grimy DIY to the bone, bro. They got on Hopeless. I was a little surprised when, you know, in retrospect, I was a little surprised that they signed to Hopeless. When I was a kid, I didn't understand all that stuff. But yeah, man, they're a great band. They have that song "Ska Sucks." That I don't know. That's even I don't think it's even their real original song.
It's a Propaganda song.
Oh, it's a Propaganda song. A band that I do not like much. Well, I'd rather just take the AAA version.
Oh, yeah,
I don't like that band. Okay. I mean, whatever though. I mean, objectively good, yes. Up my alley, no. I don't stick nothing up my alley that I'm not a fan of, sir.
Gotcha.
But Against All Authority has an album called "The Restoration of Chaos and Order," and that is their magnum opus as far as I'm concerned. They have a couple of good albums before that. I would even say great albums, but that record is where they really like honed their skills and nailed it, dude. They got fantastic songwriting, amazing guitar work. The production is exactly what I want from a band like that. It's like glossy, but then they like spit on it and threw some dirt on it. And then it was like, okay, it's glossy, but it's still dirty. And it was like, all right, I'll take that. And if I'm not mistaken, my favorite two songs by them are both on that album too. I'm pretty sure. Let me double check just to make sure, then we'll move on. Yeah. Silence is golden, but duct tape is silver. And All Ages Show Tonight. Those are my favorite Against All Authority songs, and they're both on the same album. I do want to shout out Hard as Fuck is a great song, and 24 Hour Roadside Assistance is a pretty great album. But yeah, I mean, they got man, they got really great music. I fuck with this band a lot, dude. I'm really
agreed.
I'm happy that they exist, and I think that you know, they came out and they did some stuff when I needed to have something that was like,
yeah,
I like ska. And so like I want something that's a little more like the exploited or the unseen with ska chords, and that's what that band is basically to me. That's what I liked about Leftover Crack too, though, to be honest with you. The Choking Victim and stuff is there's a little more on the punk side, you know, like actual DI, like real punk.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I would call Against All Authority like they're definitely more on the punk side than ska side.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, they're fantastic. I agree.
I can accept that they're a little more on the punk side, but I still think that they qualify. I would say if Less Than Jake does, if Suicide Machines do, then Against All Authority does.
All right, good pick, solid. My turn.
Yes, sir.
My turn. All right, I'm gonna go to Boston, Massachusetts.
Oh,
right. We're gonna Boston, Massachusetts, 1988. We're gonna go with the Mighty Mighty Bosstones. Okay.
Let's just be honest here. This is probably the number one. Like if you want to go like dude, with like longevity, quality of music, impact on the scene.
Yeah, Bosstones.
It's like Op Ivy, and then the Mighty Mighty Bosstones are like 1A in my personal humble opinion.
Real big fish, bro. Can't forget about that.
You can and you should.
Hey, they had their lane, bro. They had their lane.
No, they have that song. Beer is such a good song that I still like that record for that one song.
Fucking great, dude. Are you kidding me?
Hey, I burned that album up when I was younger, bro.
I know you did, bro. Turn it
sure.
fucking hard, bro. Come on. She don't eat meat. She only eats vegetables or whatever. That vegetarians.
I just couldn't handle their fucking clothes, dude. It ain't for me, man.
They were from Orange County, man. You gotta give them a break. That was like the like suburbs of LA, you know.
I don't gotta do nothing.
All right, so the Mighty Mighty Bosstones, right? So 1994 for my birthday, a friend of mine got me.
1 second, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Parker, what do you need? Okay, baby, I can't help you right now. I'm busy. Give me a second. You're silly, dude. Okay, sorry about that.
For my birthday, I got Question the Answers, which is that CD with the cop car on the front.
Yes, that yellow one.
Yeah, that album, fucking banger. Like I hadn't heard anything like that before, because
that's the thing is there is no other band that sounds like them.
They had like a very hardcore element to them.
Yeah, because they're from Boston.
Yeah, there was like this like Boston like grit to them, but then like the like horn section hits and it's like they're like fucking like super jazzy and like fucking kind of swinging, you know what I'm saying? And then his voice is just like so unique and gravelly and shit.
Well, that's kind of the thing about the Bosstones is that they've got like whenever Let's Face It came out in 1994 or 5, 96 is what it says on Spotify. So whatever, somewhere in the mid 90s, late 90s, when that album came out, you got this weird amalgamation of like really high quality ska music with vocals that sound like the dude just swallowed a bunch of gravel. Bro, I love his voice, dude. It's like my favorite thing about him, and even his new band, The Defiant, his vocals are still on point. But what I like about the Mighty Mighty Bosstones is that you have stuff all the way back in '88. You got Devil's Night Out. In 91, you got More Noise and Other Disturbance. Then you got 92 as Don't Know How to Party. 93 has Question the Answers. And these are all really great albums. Like they're so good, in fact, that you can say if they stopped right there, they would still qualify for this list. Then they have their breakout album, Let's Face It. And you're like, oh man. Then they do that Live from the Middle East album. Everybody did a live album and they had a big giant banger. They did a live album because they knew you'd buy the live album to hear the hit. And then from there, you'd hear their back catalog. If you did that, you might buy some of their records. The live album was a very bright idea for most of these bands that had a back catalog. So what happened after that, though, is that they did that album called Pay Attention. And it took like a nosedive. It was an okay album. It's not like terrible. But the unfortunate thing is that they didn't have another album for almost 3 years. And when A Jackknife to a Swan came out, it just didn't get the recognition it deserves. If you go back and listen to that album, it's literally like a 10. It's amazing. Yeah. And then they just kept on putting out quality music. The last two records called While We're At It from 2018 and then When God Was Great from 2021 are both like phenomenal records, dude. Like I know I'm bogarting this conversation, but I genuinely, they're like one of my favorite bands like of all time.
No, I mean, you ran with it. You ran with it. I mean, I think you might be a bigger fan than me.
I am probably. I love that band.
I stopped listening to them around that night. Like I didn't like pay attention to them much after like, but that was like that was enough for me to really like them. You know what I mean? I didn't want anything else to like ruin it for me. It's funny. I'm reading this like article on Wikipedia about the singer Dickie Barrett. I guess the band broke up because of his something about how he felt about the COVID-19 vaccine specifically.
It wasn't. They got. Okay, look, I'm speaking out of turn here because I wasn't there.
Right.
As far as I understand it, and as far as I know, he got bent over and fucked. So I'm not gonna speak much on it because I don't understand exactly all of the nuances. But I have talked to 3 people from his current band, and they're not like running their mouths or anything. But I mean, like I had them on like long form podcast conversations, right? I talked to Joey Briggs, I talked to Pete Parada, and I talked to
You Parada, okay.
Yeah, I had somebody else on. Who else did I have on?
Isn't he also like an anti-vaxxer or something?
They're all anti-vaxxers.
Okay, got it. Okay.
And I mean, I at this point am a staunch anti-vaxxer. Like, I don't think you should be putting that shit in your body at this point. Maybe back then I took a calculated risk, right? I never got a booster. I was never gonna. But my point is that I think that he got screwed around for some stuff that people were so fucking scared that they like overcorrected, and it's just it's unfortunate because the Boss Tones were a great band, and he got like he lost his job. He lost just about everything. Like, it was bad.
I'm not sure what happened with the Dickie Bear situation, but I just went to the Wikipedia page. Also, it looks like the drummer of the Boss Tones was in the Street Dogs, Joe Savoy. Yeah. So there's a lot of
Pete Soso drummed for the Street Dogs for years, and that was my friend.
Right. The Street Dogs have recorded. Okay, anyway, I'm just reading shit. That's interesting.
But yeah, so
with
Pete Parada was in the Offspring. And,
yeah. Yep.
And he got cut from the Offspring for the same reason. We can't go on tour until we all vax. And it turns out the guy that they replaced him with didn't vax, and they didn't end up needing to vax to go on. It was just this big mess. So he doesn't harbor any resentment, but like, I don't see how you can't, bro. He's such a nice person, man. Shout out Pete Parada, dude. Fucking for real. That guy's awesome. He also Joey Briggs, dude. Joey Briggs is amazing. Beautiful people.
Pete Parada drummed on From Here to Infirmary on the Alkaline Trio record too.
Did he really?
Yeah, he was on that.
I didn't know that.
That was the album he was on.
And then also, I wanted to just say that like Pete Parada's reason for not getting the vaccine was like medical. Like, he had a legit reason for not doing it. It had nothing to do with him being stubborn. So I just think it was real low down that they did that to him. But I mean, that's their situation. But I love the fucking Boss Tones. Was my point. I love that band. I love that band so much, dude. I have a poster at my store. I'm gonna bring it home. It's from like 2001, 2002, something like that. I went and saw him play at Fitzgerald's in Houston. They Sum 41 opened up for the Boss Tones.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
dude. That Indian looking dude from Sum 41 did the Punk Rock Museum tour, or will be doing it.
That's pretty cool.
I went to their website. Again,
All right, we moving on.
We are moving on.
Sorry, I totally just jacked that from you. My bad, bro.
Oh, dude, it's good. You had a lot to say about the fucking Boss Tones. Okay, last thing I'm gonna say about the Boss Tones.
Let's go.
The album that like I'm basing this on is Question the Answers. Okay, like that was the album for me. Maybe I need to go back and listen to more of their catalog. I'll like another album.
I mean, you should, but that's a great album.
Yeah, so
it's a great album. I love that record.
Agreed.
All right, so let me find out where this band's from, because I don't actually know a lot about them. I just know a few of their songs, but the songs are so fucking good that like I had to talk about them. Okay. Oh wow, I didn't realize they were from there. Well, dude, my comments on this band are probably gonna weird people out. So we got a band from New Jersey, man.
Who?
Streetlight Manifesto.
Oh,
so this band is like super fast. At least in my opinion, they have this like Latin flavor to their sound, this weird Latin horn sound that they do, but they have this like really upbeat, fast ska sound with horns and a lot of gang vocals. So every fucking song sounds like a party, dude. Like, it's impossible to listen to their music and be like, yeah, I'm bored. Like, good luck. Like, good luck, bro. Yeah, and I have a personal connection to Streetlight, which is, it's not really my connection, it's my daughter's. Her first show ever was Catbite and Streetlight Manifesto.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's man. Awesome. She was, I think it was her 8th birthday. I took her to see it. And I put her on my shoulders. Oh, dude, she's got a Catbite CDs LP signed. She's got a shirt she wears around. I got her stick her
into ska shit. That's cool.
Yeah, she's into like punk and ska. She likes ska more. My son's like in punk now. My little guy, little Parker, bro, dude, go put on like Discharge, bro. He'll go like this.
Really?
Yeah, he fucking loves it, dude. Yeah, when he was a little baby, dude. Here's how this can connect to our conversation. When he's a little baby, we had this freeze down here in Houston.
Yeah,
and we lost all of our electricity for a while. We were warming up baby bottles with like our armpits and our crotch because we had no way to heat up milk for this kid, right? He was little bitty, dude. And electricity would come back on for like an hour or two, and then it would go back off because they were just having a hard time keeping it on because it was so cold.
Yeah.
And I'm a music head, right? So when the lights came back on, was the first thing I did. I ran to my office and I turned on some music. And so he's a little bitty baby, dude. And I think this probably affected him in a way that I can't understand until he's older. And I'll just go, I know where you get this. He's a little bitty baby, and I'm holding him. And I go in the office, and the lights come back on all of a sudden. And I went, oh, shit. And I turned around, and on my record player was a brand new copy of the Slackers' Red Light. And so I turned on the radio and started playing it. And as a little bitty baby, he literally started going like this, dude. He was like laying on my shoulder, and the music came on, and he opened his eyes, and he sat up, and he goes like this.
He started moving his head to it.
He's just bobbing his head to the beat. This kid's he's listening, he's hearing me. I know he can talk. Where are you at? Sketchy little baby. I hear you.
He's like, you're talking about me.
He's hiding from me behind my chair.
That's so funny.
Hey, little bear, what are you doing?
He's supposed to.
I hear you giggling. I can hear you giggling, boy. Yeah. You want to come say hi again? Come here. You just interrupted. It's all right. It's been an hour. Come here. Ah! You scared me. Don't scare me, dude. You're not even wearing pants. Kid. He's like, bro, what do I sleep in pants for? I'm 4.
It's real, dude.
All right. He's back, folks.
What's up, little dude?
He's pretty popular. People like Parker. He's funny.
He likes
farts. He likes farts.
You like farts in the Slackers, dude. That's
hold on. Here. Yeah. Nitty can say something to me.
You like farts in the Slackers.
You like farts?
Yeah.
I heard that you're a farty boy.
Are you a farty?
Gotta stay away from those beans, bro.
He's like, nah, bro. It's chocolate milk farts all day.
You're lactose intolerant, man. Maybe.
Okay, we're almost done, pal.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah,
we're almost done. Give me a minute. I'll come get you some milk. Okay.
Okay.
I love you.
Good night.
All right. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, pal.
Bye-bye.
All right. Did you hear that? He goes, bye-bye. All right. Let's wrap this thing up.
Yeah. We're coming on time here.
One more per person, huh?
I think so, but that's 4.
Yeah.
Did I go? Did you go? We talked. Okay.
No. We wrapped up Streetlight Manifesto. I want to know from the audience, man. What's up with their sound having this like Latin sound to me? It sounds Latin, and maybe I'm tripping, dude. I don't know. But I listened to like 10 of their songs today just to make sure I really wanted to include them on this list. And they all had this like Latin flavor. And it might just be the horns or just kind of remind me of that. Maybe
albums. Like, is it a particular album you're talking about? Or is it all
no, I put it on random and put their whole discography on. Just like wanted to like just kind of jump off the deep end.
Gotcha.
And I was going to go buy some packing supplies for this big ass order I'm having to ship out. But yeah, Streetlight Manifesto is a great band. Let's move on to your next band. Your final pick, actually.
Oh man, this is hard.
No, dude, it's easy, bro.
Oh, ska music. All right, let's see here. God, this is tough, dude.
You didn't already have this lined up, bro? What are you doing?
I did, man. I like this. It's I don't know who I want this last band to be. It's like it's between a couple, right?
Well, we're definitely gonna have to do a part 2, it seems.
Yeah, we'll do a part 2. Okay, this is a band. This is a local ska band. Okay, from
MU330.
No, they're from like Kansas City, dude.
I know, I was just being silly. Bucko 9.
Huh?
Bucko 9.
No, they're from San Diego. But
Jay the Cat.
I don't know who that is. This band is called. No one's gonna know who the fuck they are, but this is why I'm telling you about them.
That's exactly what we need this episode for.
Janitors Against Apartheid. JAA. These guys were the fucking like goats of fucking goats. They did a split with the band called One Eye Open from like Huntington Beach. They're like the ska punk band, right? On a label, that Skink and Pickles label, actually.
Let's go.
And that label was called Dill Records.
Of course it was.
Now that record label released a lot of crazy shit back in like the early 90s, right? And that was like Mike Park's like buddy from Skank and Pickles label or whatever, right? And then Asian Man happened much later. But this band is like, they're funny as shit. Like these dudes, like they were like the kids that are a bit older than us. Like they're probably pushing 50 now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But they were like, they had a song about like one of their friends who worked at like Little Caesars who would like fuck pizza dough, right?
There we go.
That.
Well, I got stories like that too, homie.
They were like one of those bands. You know what I'm saying? They were fucking just whack fucking jobs.
Can you get me into this music to put on the show?
Yeah, they're great. They're great. They're I mean, particularly their EP, but it's a time capsule, bro. It's like a time.
I like that. That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you just got to be there. And these like dudes went to like some like local high school, and like, you know, there's like stories about like the guy went on Facebook, like the main member of the band, the only guy that like, you know, he wanted to like archive their history. He went on there and he's like, this is how we all fucking met. And there's like this like old school like Angel Fire like website that you can go to, and he just like types everything out in like stream of consciousness style, and just like go through this like history of this fucking band. Pretty.
I like that. That's kind of cool though.
And they used to play at like high schools and shit.
Yeah.
But again, it was a time capsule. So to me, they mean something important. There's a nobody kind of like forgotten ska band locally from around here, but it's
that's
like
awesome though. I like that. It makes me happy.
If you grew up in the early 90s in San Jose and were into ska, then you knew about them and you love them, right? So it's one of those bands, you know. So
dude, that's rad.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna wrap this bad boy up.
Ooh, are we talking about the podcast or something else?
Something else, sir.
Ooh. Practice safe
podcast. It's a Christmas gift, you pervert.
Oh shit, it's a little early.
No, so I don't even know where these dudes are from, but they're a Hellcat band. Do you know where I'm going here yet?
Do I know where you're going, man?
I know it's a really broad question for something when I just said all I said was Hellcat.
I mean,
from Kansas City, Missouri. Okay, I did not know that at all. So they've only got a couple of records out. They were out from like 98 to like 2002.
Good band.
The Gadgets.
The Gadgets, yes.
Yes. So this is another band that's like a mod rock ska band.
Yeah, they're great.
Dude, this is one of the last things that my father bought me before he died was the Gadgets album called At Ease. And that album is another thing that's like perfect. They also did a second record after that was called Wish We Never Met. That's not quite as good, but it is. And then Today Is My Day is their last album. Honestly, I went back and revisited it like maybe 8 months ago, and I was shocked at how much I enjoyed it. It's not quite as much ska on it, mostly like pop rock, honestly. It's like power pop almost. Yeah. But like their first two records are just incredibly original, man. It's a sound I'd never heard before. I've never heard since. The only band that even come close was Catbite. And it's probably why I like Catbite so much, because they reminded me of the Gadgets at least a little bit. But dude, they had songs on that give them the boot comps. They played Warped Tour. Yeah, they covered these old 60s songs. They were very, very entrenched in like 60s soul, northern soul.
Right.
Yeah, they had this like mod look to them, man. They danced, and that dude, it was such a great band. If you haven't heard of Gadgets, I implore you to go out and check them out. They're fantastic, dude. Their best songs, in my opinion, are probably going to be, let's see, Beautiful Girl is probably their biggest song.
Yeah.
Bad Gadget was one that was really good. It was on Give 'Em the Boot. Bullet in the Mattress is really good. And then they have a cover of they did Skinhead Girl. It is phenomenal. And they also did Mustang Sally. Those two songs are both covers. But dude, I'm telling you, this band and they'll introduce you to stuff by playing songs like Skinhead Girl. I wouldn't have heard that song for years had it not been for this band.
That's a similar. Yeah,
dude. So the Gadgets are a phenomenal band. I love them. I miss my dad quite a bit, even though he was kind of a shit.
That still pops.
Still pops. Check these tapes out that I got when I was in Vegas, dude.
What'd you get?
I got Christ the album.
Oh, but you don't like Crass.
I hate Crass. But I got Rudimentary Peni, Cacophony.
Cool. Hell yeah.
Yeah. You know I got a store, bro. I gotta flip these hoes. They're not even for profit, bro. These are strictly to get people in the door. I'm not gonna make $1 on these things because they were expensive. But they're cool. They're like relics of our past, man. These are like, and they're in good shape too, so that helps a little bit. You know,
if you like the Gadgets, you would like the what's that band?
Yeah, who? I'm interested.
Pie Tasters.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I don't know if I've ever sat down and listened to them before.
They're definitely a very mod soul fucking band, dude. They're fun.
All their imagery looks like it, actually. It's a good point.
Great. Yeah, the Pie Tasters are fucking fantastic. I think they were on Hellcat too, or maybe
I think so. I think they're one or the other. Well, shit, that was fun, man. I went a little longer than planned. I'm sorry for that.
It's all right. Let's go down this little listy here, and then fucking we can call it a night.
Cool. You go ahead and go first, sir.
Okay. So number 1 was the Scatolites from Jamaica.
Yeah.
Like ska, you fucking probably should listen to them. You know,
a little bit.
The second one was Slapstick from Chicago, Illinois, members of Lawrence Arms. And
Man, I need to listen to them tonight.
Trio. They're fucking great. The third one on my list was the Slackers, right, from New York City. Fantastic, like traditional reggae, rocksteady ska band with amazing songs. They will not let you down.
They will not.
The fourth band was Janitors Against Apartheid from Cupertino, California. If you're fucking interested, check them out. They're definitely a moment in time, right? So we're talking like 1995, suburbs of fucking California, ska shit. And I can't remember. Oh, and then Mighty Boss Tones.
Mighty Boss Tones, sir. Cool. So mine was in this order. Aggrolites and the Specials were my honorable mentions. Different points in time, very similar people, I would think. And then I had Choking Victim out of New York. We got that crack rock steady sound. You mix in hardcore punk, street punk, black metal with ska of all things. Then we had Philadelphia's Catbite, more of like a mod rock ska band without the horns, more danceable rock and roll style shit with a beautiful live show. Then we had from Florida, we had this just the grimy ass Against All Authority, DIY street punk, political punk stuff with the ska woven in and out of it. Then we had Streetlight Manifesto, which just a lot of gang vocals, a lot of upbeat, very fast tempoed stuff, a lot of it sounds like a party on their record, honestly. And then the Gadgets, which is a straight up mod rock ska band from the 90s, brought to us by Hellcat Records. So a lot of ska stuff to go listen to, folks. So go out there and check it out. Go pick it up. I used to love that shit, bro. All right, everybody. I'm exhausted and I gotta go I love it still. I gotta go take care of this crazy ass kid. Sorry for the interruptions tonight, but I'm gonna leave him in because this is how we do things here at the Punk Rock Review Podcast. You'll have a great night. We'll see you in a week or two for the second part of ska. We're gonna do ska 2 soon or what?
Let's do fucking ska 2. Let's do ska 3. Let's do ska 4.
Well, okay. So I've already got a part 3 of the punk bands list already figured out. So if we're gonna do ska next week, that's fine. What do you want to do, ska or punk?
That doesn't matter. Fucking.
Let's do ska part 2 then. Just why not? Let's see how this one does, and if it just tanks, we'll do punk. But let's do ska part 2.
Part 2. Fuck.
Let's do it, dude. I want to pick it up where we left off.
I don't even know if I have fucking 5 more ska bands.
Oh, bro, I guarantee you do. Stop it.
I gotta dig down the vaults. I got an idea. Ska compilations.
No, that's stupid.
Why is it stupid? What do you mean?
Because I don't like compilations that much, dude. I don't have enough ska compilations to do that.
I found out about a lot of these bands from compilations though and shit. Anyway.
Okay, well just bring up the bands then. Dude, I'm telling you, you can come up with 5. I have lots of faith in you. Dude, we didn't even talk about Falling Sickness. We didn't talk about fucking there's so many bands we could talk about still.
Falling Sickness. Cool.
Dude, we didn't even talk about Less Than Jake. You know what shit we're gonna get for that?
Yeah, it's all right. We don't need to.
I'm gonna bring them up next week, I promise.
It's because you're running
all right. All right, man. I'm out of here. Later, everybody.
Peace.
Peace.